everyone. On behalf of Inspiring People India, I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to Mrs. Kalpana Lathar, who is currently the principal of Millennium School, Karnal. But before I do invite her to speak, let me introduce Inspiring People India. This is an initiative with the vision of taking life-transforming education to each and everyone across the country. This digital platform is committed to bringing the world's best professionals from different domains to share their experiences and success stories with the world to make an impact on people's lives. Welcome, Mrs. Kalpana Lathar. We are honored to have you on our show. May I request you to kindly introduce yourself to our esteemed audience?
Thank you so much, Crystal. And on behalf of Inspiring People, like you people are doing a fabulous job, because the topic what you have taken for today, that career counseling, it is need of the hour. And
Yes.
Thank you so much for taking me on board. And as you introduced me, like I'm Kalpana Lathar, principal of the Millennium School, Karnal. We are a 40 plus school group organization, which is run by Millennium Next. And honestly speaking, like we work with the motto of nurturing children, nurturing their inert potential. So we are sort of already into this path, and that is why I was interested when this organization contacted me.
Wow, that's wonderful. Ma'am, please give us an insight into your journey and into education so far.
Like I was fascinated with this field of teaching, I think from a very young age. And after I completed my master's, I think in the age of 21, I started working as a teacher. I started off, when I tell it to people, like at times they don't believe it, I started off as a kindergarten teacher. And I think that was the best phase in my life, because that taught me a lot of, it gave me a lot of patience to deal with children. It taught me that you can get any type of queries, you can get any type of responses, and children are basically like they can be molded into any shape. You just need to give them space to grow. I think that is the reason why I became a school leader, because I started off as a kindergarten teacher and I could get insight into their behavior, and that gave me a lot of patience to work with children. And for last 21 years now, like I'm working in this town only, and as a school leader for past 17, 18 years now.
Right.
I'm loving this journey, learning every day.
That's true. That's very true. Today's topic, ma'am, is career counseling. Career counseling in schools. So what exactly is career counseling? We'd like you to explain it to our audience. And also, what is the need for career counseling to be introduced in school levels?
Fine. So, like Crystal, when you were a child, how many careers were you aware of? I think maybe a doctor and an engineer and maybe
and a lawyer.
And a lawyer and a teacher. And that's that. I mean, that was the end.
True.
And from your schooling time till today, I think from the time I was in school, then you and me, we have a generation gap. And the current generation, the careers are the same for parents. They start at a doctor and they end, I think, at a teacher. So, and there is one CA in between, and maybe an engineer and maybe some scientists they have started talking of nowadays. But see, what are you doing for a living right now? Is it somehow related to what you were being prepared for life? No. What are children dream of? What are the things which are going to give them a sustainable living in another 20 years from today? Who would have thought that the world will come to a standstill in 2020 and everything would be done online? When I was a child, I think ordering things from home was it was not thought of. And nowadays everybody is doing shopping online. So the way the life is changing, we cannot tell children to follow our examples, because the world is not the same. What the world I had in my childhood, it is completely changed. You need to tell them as per their interest and potential. Everybody who gets above 90% score is not brilliant, or maybe is not that the only person who can do something in this world. Anyone and every child has the potential to achieve high goal, to achieve a sustainable living, to be successful in life, and there are so many spheres. But who is going to tell them? As a parent, our knowledge ends with 5 to 6 careers. Who is going to guide them that, okay, fine, you are interested in X subject, you are interested in Y field, and these are the career options for you. These are the things which are coming up for you. So this is the need of the hour. There are so many unanswered questions in their minds. Someone
Right.
has to talk to them. Someone need to
Right.
tell them कि maybe you
Right.
are not interested in studying physics, chemistry, and maths. There is life beyond physics, chemistry, and maths.
Right.
So it is the need of the hour.
Right. And in your opinion, when should this career counseling be given to the children? When should they be exposed to understanding that there's so much of potential that resides within them? And when is the right time to give them this understanding?
If I talk in terms of the classroom teaching, I think from grade 6 onward, we should start discussing somewhere down the line. You're teaching them trigonometry. I'm just quoting an example. Then the teacher, in a very subtle manner, okay, fine, you are interested in trigonometry. Now, where is
Right.
trigonometry being used? It is being used in Navy, like. So this is the thing. It is not
So
just
true.
calculating the height of the trees and the height of the building. These are the examples which are there in the
So
textbook.
true.
What is the practical use? A child is suddenly interested in studying the core of the earth. While in geography, they are introduced to those things in grade 6. The child is interested
Right.
in learning about layers of the earth. Okay, fine, you are interested in this thing. Now, these are the careers who would be using the knowledge. So this
Right.
is in a very subtle manner. From that time, just keep up the field very vast, keep it open. Discuss each and every career option which is there in the world. Each and every topic has got a career attached to it.
Right.
So
That
I
is so
think
true.
that is the time when you should start introducing him, because that is the age when the child is at around 11 and 12. Like in grade 6, they
Yes.
are at around 10. They are 10
Yes.
plus around 11. Now that is the time when they start exploring the outside world.
Yes.
So, and you have to take that exploration in the right direction
Yes.
so that they don't hate a subject, they start learning beyond the
Right.
textbooks. I think it should be introduced at that time in those schools
Right.
and in a very
Right.
subtle manner.
Right. Great. Thanks so much. Do you feel that the parents also play a role in uh, exposing their children, or because parental role, let us know what sort of a role can they play in helping them to get counseling, career counseling?
A lot of parents would be annoyed by my response, but in India,
I thought so, yes. Yes, that's exactly why I was trying to put it in a way, because as our education system is so structured
it is.
that if we try to open up children's minds, what will the parents' response be?
So,
That is what I try
the
to get at.
parents' knowledge, as I said, it starts being with the doctor and it ends being with the teacher. Teacher is somewhere very down in the ladder, and then
Yes,
there
unfortunately.
is an
Yes.
engineer. There, yes, unfortunately, yes.
Yes.
Then there is a lawyer, and maybe some company secretary courses they've heard of, and that is the thing. Like, and it ends. And then we, as a parent, we totally, we don't let them explore. We tighten up the thing so much that, okay, fine, you have to score. We give them a score that this is the path, this is the curve you have to follow. And
Right.
unfortunately, in India, our careers are decided by all the chachajis and mamajis, those who were successful in a particular field. Like, say someone says you follow Kalpana's example. No, Kalpana is 50 plus years in age. Kalpana did her post graduation in 1991.
Exactly.
The
Yes.
world has completely changed. You can't follow my career path because I grew up in a different scenario. Someone who needs to be a principal today has a completely different growth path to follow, completely different technical aspects to learn, and completely different mindset to have. So you can't quote example of people who are 60 or 70 or 80 in terms of age, and because they became successful after maybe 40 years of rigor. And for a child of 2021, the world is entirely different. So the first mold is the career counseling patterns required for parents. I mean, that is the need of the hour.
Right,
Counseling
right,
for parents required. They need to
right,
open up their mind. They need to have a growth mindset. And
right,
only then they can let the kids grow. So
right.
that, and parents have very important role. You know, we Indians,
Yes,
Indian parents, we have that controlling that psyche. We keep
yes,
everything under check. We decide what the child is going to be.
right,
We decide the career path of the child. We decide what subject the child will take. A very few children are rebel enough to decide, okay, fine. Sorry, I'm a 90% above child, but I'm not going to study sciences. I wish to pursue humanities. I wish to pursue commerce. So very few kids are like that. Most of the kids are, they follow the advice given by parents. And parents have, I'm sorry to say, but very few parents have that open growth mindset. They have got very traditional, very closed mindset as far as their own children are concerned.
right.
So counseling for parents is very much required.
So, what are the key enlightenments that parents will get when they are counseled, when they go in for career counseling for their children? Will it be a mindset? Do you feel that it will create a mindset change in the parents?
It should. I think counseling should be in such a manner that it creates a mindset change in the parents. And the first thing is that parents have to realize where the interest of the child lies like. Now, maybe a child is very good in music and is equally good. If I quote an example, I had a child last year in my school who passed out grade 12. The child has taken that professional degree in guitar playing. He's a topper in that traditional non-medical stream. He was the school topper. He cleared NDA entrance, that National Defense Academy examination, and reached, I think, to that last six. And from that, like he could not, maybe he did not clear that last run. So he was a all-rounder, good in
Yeah,
music, academics, then he took care of his physical aspect also because he cleared that NDA interviews and physicals and everything. But those type
right,
of kids are very rare. And I think now when I talk to the child, he would not like to be an engineer. He would like to pursue something in music because he's so much interested
right,
in guitar, he's into
right,
songwriting and everything.
right.
There, the parents have to understand that you have a non-medical
Yeah,
topper, but you have a musician inbuilt.
right,
So that sort of mindset change is required for parents, and that can come, I think, only through counseling. You know, as a parent, we are afraid of what it is not that we have a closed mindset. We are simply afraid for our own kids that they might not do well in life, they might not earn well in life, they might get hurt maybe 10 years
right,
down the line, maybe
right,
they'll be unsuccessful in that traditional manner. So we
right,
are afraid for our kids, and that is the reason why we follow a traditional mindset. So
right,
those avenues need to be told to the parents that okay, fine, the child can have a career in this. You know, people are becoming YouTubers nowadays. I mean, you know that thing very well. They are
yes,
influencers are earning a good amount of money. Then
right,
all sorts of things are being sold on the net, like, and the people are making it and selling it off, repackaging the things and doing it. So there are so much to explore. I think this is the best time to grow. This
right,
I really wish I was a child in this in this age. I mean, I
right,
really wish that I was not 50 plus, maybe I was 20 something right now. So this is the best time to grow and explore. And parents need to be told those avenues. And
right,
parents being parents will take it up like when
right.
they are convinced
And
that the things are good. Hmm.
right.
Yes.
Don't you feel, in your opinion, it's more damaging to the child to be directed in a particular direction than in the direction of which they want to excel in? Isn't that more
Yes.
damaging and more dangerous?
It is dangerous, it is damaging. You know, if you are maybe like I was never I never wanted to be a doctor. My mother wanted me to be that to have that MBBS degree. My heart was never into it. If I
Right,
had been a doctor, if I would have taken up that profession, I would have never have been happy. And
right,
that happiness and that EQ, when we nowadays India has started talking in terms of EQ rather than IQ. that EQ factor, emotional quotient, and then mental illnesses, then that depression, not loving your profession, changing your profession after 20 years of working into it, all those things, they come into play. So when you are looking for that inner satisfaction, just let the child choose their own path.
I think in this field, I have been personally very blessed because my mother, she allowed me to grow the way that I wanted to. And today she had no expectations for me, but she kept giving me that encouragement that to follow your passion. And today I'm not only owning well in my line as an event organizer, but I'm more than that. Every day I wake up so joyful, so happy. Even the pandemic, even shutting down of the world has not affected, the happiness that I feel with all these years in my profession.
So did you tell your mother that you love her? I mean, do you tell her?
Of course. Yes, every single day. I mean to say that the relationship that I have with my mother, because she encouraged me to follow my field, is a relationship of love. I think it would have been very different had I been forced to follow something that would have been her passion. It would have been.
Exactly.
Yes.
Children are like birds. You cannot have a happy child inside a cage. You cannot have.
Yes.
You need to leave them explore, just be there, take care that they don't hurt themselves, but let them explore the world on their own. And there is so much to do.
And that is such a beautiful gift that a parent can give a child, isn't it?
And have faith in your own beliefs, your own upbringing. Have faith in that.
Yes.
That what you gave to your child was the best. Like it is the best. Have faith in yourself. If you have faith in yourself, you will give freedom to your child and let them explore the world. At times children come to me, ma'am, I've scored less marks. I might end up spoiling 1 year. If you have a life expectancy of 80 years, where does that 1 year count? If you're happy for remaining 79 years, where does that 1 year count?
Right.
Tell me, truly like. And even if you are going back in your profession by 3 years and you are happy and you are earning well, then 3 years, fine. Instead of remaining unhappy and for 30, 40 years in your profession, it is better to go back by 3 years. It is always better to go back by 3 years. There's no harm in it. But explore the avenues which are available to you. And it's a humble request to the parents, whosoever will watch this, give that freedom to your child.
Right.
Watch them from a distance, but give that freedom to the children.
Right.
Let them explore things on their own.
Right. Like there is a saying that if you love what you do and you have a passion for what you do, you will never work a day in your life, by Confucius. So he's such a great man, and we should, really understand the value of that statement. It's wonderful
if you are happy going to work on a Monday, you are in the right profession.
Isn't that true?
If you look forward to Mondays, you are in the right place. If not, something needs to be done.
So true, so true. Ma'am, getting on to the technical part of this now, to find someone's interest and capabilities, what sort of tests or processes are the best that, in your opinion, in career counseling?
These days, many tests are there. Those tests, they don't these are there. They're available online. People are getting them made. Different career counseling firms have their own test. So psychometric test, even CBSE has got some certain psychometric test. Now those tests, they don't judge your academic capabilities. What they tell you is that you will be happy in which type of work. Maybe a person would be happy in something where interaction with people is done, or a person would be happy where less interaction with the people would be there. A person is happy maybe working in a closed environment, something to do with medicine, something to do with where, my own daughter, she appeared in grade 12 this year. She underwent a psychometric test, I think in grade 11, she took it, what courses to follow. And for her, that answer was that she would be happy in a place where she is busy making decisions. Like, so as a parent, my husband said, let her appear for those exams where she can be a judge later on when she has to take decisions. She said, why not an entrepreneur? Like, I'll be responsible for my own things. Why not an entrepreneur? Like, I would like to start on a business of my own once I pass out from college. So that was the decision made. Okay, fine, you be an entrepreneur. You decide what you need to sell to the world. But and she from that psychometric test, it came that she will never be happy if she is working for someone. And she said, yes, I can never, I can be a job provider, but I can never be a job taker. Like, मैं नौकरी नहीं कर सकती, मैं नौकरी दे सकती हूँ, was her statement. So these type of tests
just
are
like
there.
Me.
Exactly. So these type of tests are there, but I think, and the result, but the irony of these tests is that the results keep changing from year to year with your mental growth. Like, you take a test after grade 10, the result would be different. You take it after plus 2, result would be different, with a change in your own mental capabilities or capacities, or your own growth mentally. So instead of like relying 100% on the test, it is better maybe like for a direction these can be taken up, and afterwards let that interest, whether the child is happy studying the subjects what the child is studying. I think it should be a combination of both.
Right. Okay. So that's very good to know, and I think people who watch this interview should really pay careful attention to each and every detail that's been discussed, because it's being really discussed like food for thought, especially where the children are concerned. Ma'am, any tips that you would want to give for students and parents, that they would, how would you encourage students and parents to be counseled for career, but at the same time have an open mind to then accept what their child is, and let go of their expectations? How would you advise parents on this?
If I wanted to be a doctor or an IAS or an engineer and I could not, then I should not force my child to fulfill my dreams. My dreams were my own. My kids' dreams are their own. So they let them dream, let them fulfill their own dreams. My own expectations should not weigh heavily on them. My genuine advice to everyone is what people have left doing nowadays is reading. Read books, read newspapers, read magazines. Because, like Google has everything, but until unless you search for the right stuff, you will never get it. Then there are ways to change opinion on internet, like some things can be shown as trending or whatsoever. So it is always better to read, and just let your child be free. Like, instead of forcing them, study and study, play, study, solve puzzles, work. Work on your mental capacities, make them emotionally strong. And nowadays, it is better to make them a team player, to explore things which will develop their critical thinking, team abilities, working as a team. Work on these aspects. Number, the school will take care and they will get good marks. CBSE, like CBSE, ICSE, the children will get good marks. And even if they are not scoring those traditionally good marks, work on their skills, because I think the coming times would be looking up for skills. Nobody is going to look up for degrees. You can have any amount of degrees, and until unless you have the required skill sets to work upon, like you have, until unless you don't have the skills, you will not be successful in life. But read so that at least you know what is happening in the world around you. At least you know what new careers are there. And it's not today data science is there, and maybe after a child who is 3 years old, the child would be facing all these scenarios after 20-25 years. Maybe data science at that time would not be used because people would be residing on Mars. How do we know what the world is going to be in 2045 or 2050? Nobody knows the world, what to expect there. So just leave them free, read, read a lot, find out what things would be required in the maybe 20, 30 years down the line.
Right.
And
so important.
Equip your children with those skills.
So important.
Work upon the skills. As a school, as a teacher, as a parent, work on the skill sets of the children. Stop making them cram up the stuff.
Ma'am, one last question before we say goodbye and thank you to you. You have so much of experience with students, and you have also inculcated the new way of education in your school. So can you please enlighten our audience that how children how academic grades improve when children are happy and following their passion?
If you are happy doing a thing, you like doing it. Isn't it? Like if you are like with your body language, I can make out that you are happy interacting with people.
Yes.
So if you are out there interacting with people, you will be happy doing it. You'll be meeting more people. You'll be doing it in a very happy manner. And obviously you'll be successful in your job. And if you are, maybe you are asked to sit inside a room and do it.
But my question to you is, haven't you noticed in your years of working in the academic profession that children's academic results also
they improve when they are happy doing, you know, in my school
because today parents are only looking for academic results. So isn't there a huge connection between the two?
You know, in my school, like, yes, it is there. It is now parents have to think that the traditional mode in which we people studied cram at the time of annual exams and appear in the examination is not helping them anymore. This year board pattern proved that consistent performance was the key to success, and these things can be repeated over and again. So why do they have that exam here? Why can't school conduct those small little tests over a period of time? Why to force them to learn a thing? Why can't you explain the things in a lucid manner? See, there are, I'll just quote an example. One day a mother came to me with a child, ji, bacche de na number nahi aate, in a very chaste Hindi, she told me that the child is not scoring well. What happened?
Exactly.
He wrote a wrong answer to this, and that was, I think, about working of a geyser, like that normal water geyser. And I never thought of it that how does the geyser work? The child was able to explain it to me, ma'am, this is how it works. I'm sorry, I wrote it in the wrong manner, and the teacher deducted marks, but this is the working of the geyser. And that was a science paper in my hand, and I asked him, another question was about grafting. He taught me grafting of a rose plant in such a beautiful manner that the child can never go wrong in his life. But where did you do it? We did it in the class. As a part of our project, we did the grafting in the class. The teacher showed us the various parts of the geyser, and this is how we learned it. I said, fine, now tell me, how will you improve, make improvisation in writing the answer, because teacher will not ask you orally, she has to say. Yes. Okay, fine, means I need to spend some more time over this thing also. And the child is doing very well. I think now he's in grade 9. The child is doing well. So you just simply need to create that interest in studies. And children are like us. Repeatedly, if they are told to do a thing, they will never do it. They will never ever do it.
That's so true.
So make them, learning spaces should be happy. The school should be a very happy place to be. The teaching should be in such a manner that they are not asked to cram up our stuff. You know, this is the generation of instant gratification. Right from childhood, they are on those video games, and they are collecting coins and collecting things. This is the generation of immediate, instant gratification, and you are then learn for 6 months, then you appear in the exams, and then you get a grade after another 6 months. Sorry, they are not interested.
Right.
Create such happy learning spaces that they look forward to going back to those spaces. Create a happy learning space in the school. Create tests which are not only judging their academic standards, which are working on the skill sets also, so that they look forward to studying. कि मुझे पढ़ना है, because, and you have to create that interest in them that yes, I'm learning something new. Talk in terms. What you need to tell them, this is what you would be learning today, and this is the outcome of today's lecture. They would be interested in listening to you. You don't tell them, but you have done it, you have to do it, they will not do it. So look forward to a place which can be a happy learning space for the child, and their academic grades would improve. If they are happy, their grades would improve.
Thank you so much, ma'am. May I say that if education is really in the hands of wonderful and enlightening people like you, we have some hope for our education
Yes.
system,
Thank you so much, Crystal.
literally.
I enjoyed
Thank
my
you very
conversation
much.
with you, and thanks to inspiring people like they gave me this opportunity to talk to you, a beautiful person like you, and on such a important
Thank you.
topic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.